What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to The Climb, Episode 1. I am your host, X-Ray, and I'm excited to be back. Joining me this week, Episode 1, Brissy, as always, the king himself, Solo Bolo King. Welcome back, sir.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hello. I feel so good to be back for another Summit season. Man, it was a nice break. Took what was it, about a month and a half off from our 6 month long season 3. Uh, but man, the content team is alive and well.
Speaking of the content team, we have a new member joining us, and I
Yes.
think I think he happens to be in this episode of The Climb. Mr. Ray, welcome to the content team.
Hello. I'm here to give hot takes
Hot takes.
and I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'm here to help out as much as I can.
Okay, okay, I
Uh,
respect that.
A
We'll
ray
put
of
some new-
sunshine.
Yeah.
So,
Put some
all
new
right.
perspectives in there.
You said hot takes. Can you give us one hot take right now, just off the top of your head?
Mm, um. I don't know if people are rating Pie's team any low, but I feel like that team is a top 3 or maybe a top 4.
Ooh,
All right.
okay.
I have a lot of faith in that roster
Is it-
right there.
Okay,
well-
are they top 3 legally or top 3 by bending the rules?
Yeah, I was gonna
Legally.
say that. Yeah.
What do you mean by
Type-
bending the rules? Is there some,
We'll ta-
some
Um,
content?
You know
I'm
what?
missing?
How about we'll get that to that team here
Talk
in a bit.
that.
But draft is officially ended, and it was Saturday. It's now Wednesday, so I'm really excited to kind of look at some of these teams and how they are shaping up. So let's just start off with the rookie players. There are so many rookie players this season, like way too many. So many that some people actually didn't even get drafted. Like Dunk, a really big one in my opinion that didn't get picked, which
Yeah.
was surprising to me. Gourmet Cookies, an excellent support player in tier 1, and then I can't remember some of the other tier 2 players off the top of my head that did not get picked. Or wait,
There's some new people that didn't get picked. There's the Jason Derulo guy. There
that's
was-
right. Jason Derulo.
Well, I mean, don't beat around the bush here, X-Ray. I mean, we can break it to the viewers here, and everybody, including myself, is very upset about it. But unfortunately, X-Ray did not find a team of his own this season.
Listen, I'm
which-
trying
to
not
be
to.
fair-
I'm trying not to like exude my bad energy right now. All right, that's why I
The
didn't
top
say
lane
it.
pool is insane.
It's
this
kind of
Yeah.
stacked this season.
Oh yeah.
Everyone,
Jeez.
but it felt bad because I was watching the draft and then I realized like almost every team picked a top laner within like the first 3 picks or like
Yeah.
top. So it was like, damn,
Yeah,
this might be a season where Brissy or X-Ray doesn't get on a team. That would be insane.
yeah, because it was like I think once we got to tier 4, there was really only 2 or 3 teams that had not picked a top laner, and that was PPP, I believe Happier Cat, and Pyrosis team. So
Yeah.
those were really the only chances you would have, and unluckily, I did not get picked. I mean, the other person I want to point out is Asuna did not get picked, which I also
literally
Mhm.
won last season and is now not even playing.
and
Wow.
the thing about Asuna is I think he's a super underrated player. Like for his value to bring to a team, I think is way like people are kind of sleeping on him.
Yep.
Like I think
Really.
like the way he played last season, I think just shows you like, hey, this guy may be like I think he's like platinum or something, or no, he would have to been emerald.
He's like he's low emerald, I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
So like
Mhm.
Emerald 3 or 4, I definitely can see this guy being high Emerald. I don't think he might hit Diamond, but I'm not sure. But I can definitely see him being high Emerald because like the amount of the plays he makes around the map with this type of champion pool, like last season we saw him play the TF and the Annie, like he was getting stuff done on those picks. So unfortunately, and then there was a bunch of tier 5s, but I don't think anyone huge did not get picked, to my understanding. I mean,
I
Goofy
think
Paper
Dunk not going drafted was incredibly, like, what a miss by everyone.
Who?
Yeah.
Dunk.
Oh yeah. Like the way he
Goofy
played.
Paper, honestly, he should have been picked up too.
I
Feel bad. He was
To be
playing really
fair-
well in those end houses.
He
Oh
was.
yeah, the combine. I think a lot of players showed out in the combine, including Goofy Paper. I think once a lot of those teams got down to tier 5, though, a lot of the junglers had already been picked up, and I mean, a lot of teams, I think, at that point, seeing who was still available in tier 5. There's a lot of Summit veterans in there that have kind of already proven themselves to be teachable or quality players at that level. So
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's hard to put yourself into a pool like that and come away with with a team.
Yeah, and speaking of different players, like I said, there was a lot of rookies coming in, and I'm gonna say OP Killswitch is technically a rookie because he did. I'm gonna count him as a rookie because he did come in, but he did not play the full season.
Correct.
So I'm really interested to see what Killswitch is going to bring to his team, which is Soulpan's team, which is now Flea's team. So we're gonna call it Flea's team. Let's see who else is like a really big one. I mean, Sprinkler. I think
it's a brand new player.
Brand new player. Sai's coming in, but he's well known for like tier 1s.
Sai's incredible.
And then Grozbuta. I think that's how you say it. Grozbuta.
Grasputo.
Yeah.
Those are like the new tier 1 players that are really interesting, and Sprinkler and Sai are the top 2 ranked players, and Sprinkler is ranked GM 670 LP, and Sai is GM 609 LP. So it's about a 61 LP difference.
The 3-game difference.
Yeah, it's the 3-game difference. But I'm interested to see what both these players bring to the table, because Sai is playing support, so he is probably going to be roaming around the map a lot, making plays happen. The question is are we going to see another Dean, a recreation of the Dean?
Right here, baby.
Array moving from ADC to support, being
Yeah.
the next Dean in Summit S4. I could see it.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know. It's I guess not to interrupt you, X-Ray,
No,
but
go
I
ahead.
do have a rookie that I am on I got my eyes on is Borla.
Okay.
Which would be Sulpan, but now Flea's ADC. I know this man personally. He has been a friend of mine for a long time, but I mean, sitting right there at D4, he's a really solid ADC who I think can show out in a competitive environment, because I don't believe he's ever been in one.
Really?
Mhm.
Interesting. So this is a
Wow.
brand new experience for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
absolutely.
That's actually pretty interesting. All right, you got any key players you're looking at, or new rookies?
I don't know if Briz is new, but
Yes.
I think Briz could be an interesting, especially that whole team dynamic. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it right now, but he is on Mid 2 Easy's team, so there's a chance we might see Mid 2 Easy take a role swap or Briz an off role, and he's one of the higher ranked tier 2 players, so I'm excited to see what he can do.
So Briz and Mid 2 Easy actually have played on the same team in a different league before, so they know each other. So when Mid 2 Easy got to pick, he pretty much instant picked Briz. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Briz is playing top, because I believe he's putting some top games in. Yeah. So playing some Camille and Riven and Vayne top. Is that Vayne top? I see.
Of
That's
course.
Vayne top.
I mean, in the combine, Mid 2 Easy pulled out the Vayne top against me which was not fun. So having two of those players capable
Absolutely
of
not.
playing a Vayne top lane, I think any range top is just the worst thing. So I hope neither of those players succeed on Vayne top.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
Yeah.
at the camera when I say this. If you play ranged top laners, you're an asshole. Thank you for coming to my TED talk.
Demonetized.
I win.
Demonetized.
I'm excited to see how that team goes. It's an interesting personality team too,
Mhm.
but
Could be some clash.
could be. I don't. I think it's like kind of a bait to say, oh yeah, this team will implode on its own. Yeah, I think that's just like that's like a coping mechanism for teams
Oh yeah, no,
that want
that's
to play versus
yeah.
them.
that's it. That's an extreme. I think OT Gator mid too easy. I mean I'm not familiar with Briz or what his
Someone's gonna wear the
behavior is.
pants.
Yeah, someone has to be the shot caller. But I mean when it comes down to it, you do have a lot of big personalities on that team. So
For
it's
sure.
time will tell and see how they perform throughout the season.
Now the
Yeah,
other
not
question
to.
about this team is what's Lunan and Soap gonna be like? Because like they're kind of just there.
They're gonna be like Seraphine Sona. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, you're stepping into the lion's cage with mid too easy and OT Gator, who, are kind of known to be a little. I mean, I don't want to say toxic, but kind of toxic.
They're just they're very I wouldn't say controlling, but they're very involved in their team success.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So like it kind of has to be their way, considering they're the most experienced player, they're the best players on the team. So
Yeah,
it kind
absolutely.
of makes sense to a degree, like why those narratives can form, but like it is a part of the game to win. You know, if he was
Oh,
just
yeah.
sitting there silently and just let the map play how everyone else wanted to, I'm sure he would enjoy going 0-6, but I don't think he wants to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then we got a bunch of teams for bunch of players from the VLN server, which I'm gonna be honest,
Mhm.
it's like the majority of them are on like just one team, which is
Yeah, that
Team
would be
Happier Cat.
Happier
Yeah.
Cat.
I think it's all
You get
VNL
to-
players besides Gawanaban. I don't know if Ayak Ben is a VLN player or not, but yeah, you're pretty much looking at a team full of VNL players and then Gawanaban.
Yeah,
So-
4 rookies and then Guanabon pulling out the Ivern. We'll see how that all works out for him.
hmm I'm high on Guadabon. I thought he had pretty good showing in most of the
Oh, yeah.
what was it called, games?
The combine.
Yeah, the combine. He's a really chill guy too. I think he's pretty receptive to feedback too. So I think that team could really find some footing early. I think it's probably one of the lower half teams on paper, but it has the opportunity to surprise us.
Yeah, I think with just like so many rookies being on this team, it's hard to like position
Yeah,
them.
it's hard to gauge.
Yeah, hard to gauge them. I mean, really, the only person we can really gauge is Guanabon because we have seen him before. But otherwise, it's like we're really looking at 4 random players and Guanabon. So we're pretty much just gauging off of Guanabon. But I will say they do have some couple heavy hitters. Princess. Let me
Pretty
make
solid,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, and don't want to mess up this name. Princess T Princess. I was gonna say
No.
Princess Peach Princess or
it's
something
Pe-
like
it's-
that.
It's,
Each T Princess.
Peach T
Yeah.
Princess.
you did mess it up.
I did mess it up. That's all right. I apologize. Peach T Princess.
You're done.
I'm canceled. But she's a tier 2, so I'm interested to see. Now, I'm not gonna say like don't pick Dunk, but she did get picked over Dunk, so she must be better, right?
Yeah, that's how that works.
I mean, Dunk was I think a kind of a resounding across all of Summit. Everybody kind of pictured him as the number 1 top laner coming out of Summit S3. So
Yeah.
seeing him go undrafted, and everybody was just baffled in the
I
live
was.
draft to see that happen.
It's okay. He's unshackled now. He can go outside. Start
Yeah,
looking
go
at the sunset.
touch some grass. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
grass feels really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Pick up a new hobby.
I think that's some of the main like players, because I mean we could go all day talking about just every single rookie, but let's move on to some of these teams. Team compositions. Who are we going to look for as a heavy hitter, and who are we maybe thinking they could be a dark horse or not? I'm just gonna be honest. Team PPP. I like Team PPP. I think this could. I would say, I'm honestly, for me right now, I'm in the middle with this team. It's either going to be one of the best teams, or it may be 10th place.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with on the 10th place.
Whoa,
hey, I'm gonna disagree on the 10th place.
Hold
I don't think it'll be that bad. I think it'll be like a 6th or 7th place team. Okay. I do think
you're getting underrated right now, Brissy.
No, it's not you. I don't know a lot about Vossler, but I do know they play Yumi. That already knocked you down about like 3 spots in my opinion.
Oh no,
he
didn't play last season.
Yeah, I don't. This is my first time, or in the past since being drafted. This is the most I've talked to Jerboas, or I guess Vossler.
No, they're funny. They're funny.
He's great.
Yeah.
He didn't play last season, so I'm not super familiar with how he plays League. But I think when you put together the minds like Ryan, Neversaw, and PPP together. As long as we don't get any personality crashes, I could see a lot of the shot calling just kind of going exactly how we want it to go.
I really want this team name to be called like Hell's Kitchen or something.
I'm not gonna spoil our name, but I will say I came up with it, and I am very very excited for the logo and team name to come out.
Is it Brissy in 4 words? Is that the team?
No, but that would have been good.
Yeah, I do think this team has a chance to be in a high spot. I do think Ryan on mid lane. I've heard they're pretty good at mid lane. They're a great player. They're actually playing a role that's native to them, so I have pretty high expectations for Ryan. Considering that they off-rolled into jungle and they scaled really well into the season, I feel like mid lane should be like an easy pickup for them. They should be playing well. Neversaw. I feel the same way about them in bot lane. I feel like they're the role swap aspect, like the narrative that they're gonna suck at 80 carry is probably a really bad take because they're a really strong mechanical player already.
Last season, Neversaw she pulled out a couple ADCs in the mid lane, and I think those were some of the games we were most successful on. I think as far as her knowledge of the game goes, as far as her spacing and just like you said, mechanical skill on these types of champions, I think it's going to come out really well.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Like I said, I can see this team being really good, or it's like back in the back. But I still like that name, Hell's Kitchen. PPP being like Gordon Ramsay or something like that, coming up with like some really good champions in like the jungle or something like that. But let's see, another team. Oh, I'm gonna say it right now. Team Admin, or also known as
goodness.
I said that earlier. I think I think they're getting like on the community power rankings a little underrated. I think at least 4th right now. I mean, Nightmare is a great player. He can fill pretty dang well. I think people are also underrating Lord Tubby, my boy.
Yep.
Very strong player as well. I think this mid lane pool isn't insane, to be honest. So I do think they'll have a great chance early in the season to make a statement. And I feel like Gamer Destroy and Strand is like the most rock solid bot lane you can get for a low tier bot lane. Like that is realistically 2 tier 3 players at their best. Yeah, like you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like at the minimum.
Yeah, honestly, I can see this team. No, I'm not gonna say that, but I really like this team because I don't know if Pipe planned it or not to draft all 3 admins, but
3 owners on one team.
Yeah, the 3 owners on one team, and one of them happens to be the commissioner. And I like the name Conflict of Interest because it's like, well,
exactly that. Yeah,
it's there's gonna be a lot of conflicts between the enemy team and their team, and they're always gonna be outruled, unfortunately. But honestly, like you said, however, the one thing I will say is Nightmare and Pyrosis. I'm gonna say our off role, quote unquote. I know Nightmare can play pretty much any role, and I know Pyrosis plays mid lane, so he can just play all the top lane champs as well, or bring some of the mid lane champs into the top lane. But I will agree, this bot lane, very, very good budget wise. Like Strand and Gamer D, like I can see this bot lane not dying a lot.
It's like fifth. Yeah, like fifth place bot lane, fourth place bot lane.
Yeah, like I can.
We have some pretty strong bot lanes.
Yeah, we do. Speaking of some bot lanes, Asteria and Array, gotta butter every biscuit here. I'm really excited because Korai is finally coming back after his break, season 3. So I'm interested to see what he's gonna bring to the table. Array is supporting him. You got any? Without leaking too much, are you guys coming up with any spicy picks in the bot lane?
Probably too many spicy picks in the bot lane.
Ooh, too many.
I'm not PPP levels of
head
innovation.
Chef?
We'll say, yeah.
So
I'll
you're
say
more
innovation.
of a sous chef. Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm really good at making the odd commodity work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I feel like our bot lane is actually really strong. We both like to int, so you know what I mean. Like, we're on the same page there, and I feel like the rest of our team is actually really solid. Like Sparks is a really solid mid laner. The mid lane pool isn't insanely strong, but I feel like Sparks is definitely a punch up player and is a great team player.
Sparks last played season 2 where he played top lane. So it's definitely, we will see how much League he's played since season 2. See how quickly he steps back into the limelight.
And then Agu, he's I haven't played with him before. I think he's a rookie.
Yeah, he is a rookie.
But he's super solid. He's a very quiet person, very selfless player. But sometimes, like, if he's having a bad game, he'll just go, all right, I'm gonna come mid. We're gonna kill mid lane. Or if he's having a great game, he's like, come top. Says 3 words a game. It's like I'm playing with Dunk all over again. I think he has the potential to be this season's Dunk, if not setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. Like a low ranked player that goes crazy.
My next question: has Asteria asked Agu to play Ornn yet?
It's funny you say that because they bought Agu the Choo Choo Ornn skin.
Oh my gosh!
As a welcome to the team.
That's awesome.
I'm just letting you know, this guy has something for Ornn. I don't know what it is, but he's like, give me an Ornn player.
What do you mean you don't know what it is? That's a great champion. And Choo Choo Ornn? Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, I love me some Ornn.
You realize you're talking to 2 Ornn players, right?
So yeah, 2 Ornn players here.
Oh, you're talking. I am the 3rd Ornn player.
No, you're not.
I don't know it yet.
I
can Ornn combo better than both of you. I can promise that.
Is that a bet? Is that a bet?
Yes.
All right, next week on the climb. Next week on the climb, we're gonna see who can do the
Ornn
1v1s.
So
we'll have some Ornn 1v1s on
that's
the
good
end of the episode next time. A wet noodle fight.
A wet hammer fight, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Also, Mathis Penis, he's playing on like 120 ping.
That's right. He's playing from like Sweden or something like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's also very quiet, but he's pretty solid. Especially for a tier 5 pickup. The issue I do see is, man, I would hate to play on that ping. Like it's probably like Rock Lee in those training weights, you know what I mean? Like the moment he's off them.
Yeah, I bet he's feeling so much relief. Speaking of another bot lane that I just want to highlight real quick is Kaiback, KYB Cat.
KYB Cat.
KYB Cat. Thank you. Listen, I'm really bad with names. I'm sorry, everyone. KY. Oh my gosh. KYB Cat. I'm trying to say it in one word, and it's not working. So KYB Cat, their bot lane is, I think, actually one of the top 2 with Heiko and Sai, or Boy Wife. So I know Heiko's play style, so I'm interested to see what size.
Oh, they're both psychos.
Oh, they're both psychos. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So
They're either 05 or 50 within 3 minutes.
That'll be fun to watch.
it's your bot lane array and their bot lane. I'm excited. I want to see you two face each other because I want to see. It's like, all right, who's gonna be 5-0 and who's gonna be 05, because they're just as soon as they get to lane, it's all right.
We all know from last season. I am a bit of Heiko's dad.
Oh,
like-
really?
Yeah. Who won in
Okay,
playoffs
okay.
though?
Oh,
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
You ever play Modern Warfare 2? I was running one-man army. All right, like.
True.
I'm playing RuneScape with my feet.
Dude, I was playing RuneScape and kiting at the same time. It was really weird.
I'm chopping down the street.
Okay, but
almost
you
at
can't-
99 wood.
You could say you won, but Heiko was 05 at like 10 minutes, bro.
True that, he was.
But no, I'm really excited to play against them. I think that's them, and I think playing against Nico is always fun too. But I feel like they will be like, there's no weakness in either of the roles that are like that apparent. You know what I mean? So like, it's just a very consistently strong bot lane, and I've heard a lot of great things about setup too. So like, I'm really excited to test our limits versus such great players.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think, one other thing I want to point out is that mid lane pool. Yeah, there is not a whole, like, I would say there's a lot of low rated players here in the mid lane, like mid too easy.
Yeah, just the worst player ever.
Yeah, worst player ever.
I will say
RuneScape one trick.
before we move on, it would be criminal to not talk about the coming together of Nico and Asian Jason on
Oh
a
my
team
god,
together
it's gonna
this
be
season.
it's gonna be so funny.
Because you already know those two players put together, they're taking second place. They're taking second place, absolutely. Asian Jason,
It's in the stars, but
third,
Them's not
third
with them.
season, yeah, true. No Them, which is also criminal, given that they've been playing together for two Summit seasons now. So we'll see who Asian Jason
They
picks
broke up.
to go over post game with in this season in his streams.
Yeah, I'm interested to
Oh, it's
see.
Nico.
Oh, I could see Nico stealing Jason away. That'd be kind of spicy. That would be like La Liga Times worthy, like front
Oh yeah.
headline.
Yep.
New boyfriend just dropped.
And then going back to this mid lane, like, I'm gonna be honest, there's not a whole lot of like big heavy hitters in this mid lane that Array was talking about. I mean, mid too easy. Ryan, Gargura, and Sparks are some like those headlining ones, and then a returning player who took a season off, Mr. Setup, is coming back.
Probably the steal of the draft, to be honest.
I
heard
would
great
say
things
so
about
too.
Setup.
Like tier 4, right?
Tier 3, I think.
Tier 3? Okay, yeah, tier 3. Yeah, first picked in tier 3. The fact that he got away, I mean, he did get first picked in tier 3, so pretty normal.
Yep.
Expecting. But looking at the rest of his team, I mean, this team is really playing for bot side. I mean, set up in the mid lane, Heiko in side bot, KYB Cat in the top lane, and then finishing out with My Hot Daddy in the jungle. So I'm interested to see what where this team kind of lands, and kind of their play style.
I'm actually really surprised, considering KitKat hasn't been in Summit before, that they put a draft this good together. I think this is
agree.
actually probably the most solid draft on paper, besides maybe Pai Pai's team. But I think I may be just biased. But like when I look at that roster, like you think they've known everybody in Summit when you look at that roster, because it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of really solid players.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if
And
anyone
one thing I do.
does anyone know KYB
Sorry.
Cat?
I think Colin does.
I'm sure Colin does.
Okay.
I mean, KYB Cat, he's an admin of Blue Otter League. He's the owner of Emerald, and I think he's to the Moon. He's a co-owner of that league as well. So I mean, he's well versed in competitive league. So
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Continue, Ray.
What I was saying is, I guess is a good way to transition to Nico's team. I've seen who may have played in the little gauntlet thing that we did. They were playing it mid too easy, and they got like 2 solo kills on them. So I was like, wow, this is somebody you need to watch out for. And they were playing pretty solid throughout the games that I saw. So I think, like, if Nico's team can find its footing too, they could be a really strong force as well. I think they're definitely in the top 5, the like at least 4 or 5, like on the worst. They have the potential to be a lot better though.
Yep, I could see it for sure.
Speaking of Nico's team, their jungler, Zach Budding Korean.
I don't think that's their jungler.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I mean,
Not
I
sure.
checked the what's it called, the draft sheet, the Sulpan made, and he's in their support role, and I checked their flex.
Really?
Yeah, and he's been playing support for them in flex, and Jason's been playing jungle.
Really? Okay, because I know in the the team, or in like the customs, he'd been
Combine?
playing.
Yeah, he was playing jungle. And
Yeah,
he
he's
wasn't
been
bad
playing,
at all.
and he played Shen jungle, but like pure like supportive items. Dude,
Yeah,
that
I was on
shield,
that team.
that shield was nuts.
Yeah, it was an early.
Dude, I think I counted it at one point. It was like a 1.4k shield. I'm like, holy! And then he used locket inside of someone. I'm like, you can't be doing that. That's such bait on a low
Yeah.
HP target. I would fall for that.
Oh, trust me. I was against it, and we fell for it almost every time. We're like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
we're getting this kill here, and then Shen would ult, and I'm like, nice, all right, that's fun. And then we tried to fight, like, but while Shen ult was down. Nope, it's still up. It's somehow back
Yeah.
up. So, and yeah, I think.
What other team? I feel like we're almost like.
Oh.
I mean, there's one team I do want to talk about is Callista.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have
Callista's
not
team.
talked about Callista's team.
The return
That's-
of David,
Yeah.
DB4VP.
I know almost nothing about this team, to be honest. I know one player on that team, and it's Flash of Night. That's my boy. We played on the Entourage last season.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where maybe he's unlocked this season, because I know playing with me wasn't easy. I heard DVP for VP is a really solid player as well.
Yeah,
Dark
he was,
Juice is a very solid tier 5 player as well. So I think this team
Yeah.
could be a sleeper.
All 3 are Summit players. I believe the other 2 are, including Callista, are rookies to Summit. David was actually on the Summit Diamond Plus team, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I mean, all those guys are also, super familiar with the league. So, seeing all those guys come together should be fun to watch.
Yeah, and like the other thing about Callista is literally no one knows where this guy came from, or
Yep.
that we have.
Unknown.
Yeah, we have known. So who knows? This guy could be the best player someone has ever seen.
Mhm.
So we will definitely
be.
see. I'm excited to see what this guy is. I mean, hopefully, let's see. I wonder if he's ever gonna get Callista. You think?
I'll give it to him. I'll just play Poppy, like shit.
And
We'll play Poppy Ash, I think.
then
Yep.
I think the other team we have not mentioned is Mr.
iProfits.
iProfits team.
I think
Yep.
honestly, this team, when I'm looking at all these teams, this is like the most balanced draft season I've been a part of. And
Give a huge round of applause for Gamer Destroyer for putting this draft on, making sure that teams are much more balanced this season than they have been in the past. And yeah, I completely agree. It came out super solid. So
And
yeah,
for
Very
anyone that
fun.
did not get drafted, don't worry. Next season, he's planning on making it 12 teams. So,
yeah,
Mhm.
given signups are enough, we will be looking at a larger pool play bracket, and it's more people, more draft.
yeah. So,
Mhm.
but getting back into iProfits team, I mean, I'm really looking at this top side, and then like, I like what you said, right? Like, this is a really well balanced team. You have Sprinkler in the top lane, a solid, really solid GM player, like number one ranked player in Summit this season. I Profit. Don't really know this guy. I'm gonna check Mr. Brissy's notes.
He was active in the custom.
He's got.
I thought he played pretty well.
He's got 150 ping.
No. That's I believe he's from a league called Ping 150.
Oh.
As far as what Colin told me, I could be wrong
Really?
about that.
Interesting. That's cool.
But again, yeah, he's also someone who's played competitive league before. So
yeah. And then Mr. Gar, Brissy's ex-captain now.
It is it's very sad to say that after 2 seasons with my beloved Gar, we are no longer on the same team.
Y'all broke up too?
We did break up.
Listen, Brissy, like next season, if you need a rebound, let me know. I'll pick you.
Rebound.
So
I think Gar's going mid, right?
Yep.
I believe Gar will.
Man.
Yeah, he's not playing jungle.
killing
He's
it.
not playing jungle this season.
Dude, he might need to go up to a tier 2 player now. Sheesh.
2 straight seasons of being a manager and pushed onto the jungle role. He is back in his home in the mid lane.
Thank God.
And then, I mean, this bot lane, them and Sexy Shawarma. I don't really know who Sexy Shawarma is, but we know who Thim is, and
yes, we do.
This guy has got some plays in his book, so I'm kind of interested to see like what Sexy Shawarma is gonna bring to Thim's gameplay.
Hopefully madness.
Hopefully
I'm tired
madness.
of seeing Thim sit there and wait for 20 minutes and then play the game. I want them to, because Thim can play the game. That's the thing. I feel like Thim is like, he's unlocked past 20 minutes, but I hope Sexy Shawarma can bring that fire out in Thim just to make him just start fighting.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that was the boost that Jason gave him through the past couple seasons. Was, you start to get a little angry. The fire starts to heat up, and they started performing.
I like that. Yeah, and then let's end it off before we get to predictions with early predictions. Your hot takes for the season. So you know nothing right now. All right, here's my prediction. Mid 2 easiest team wins it all. Boom. Mic drop.
I don't think that's that hot of a take. that team's pretty solid, man. The thing is, the seasons are like the teams are just that balanced that like it could honestly be like, yeah, there is like no fraud watch this season. You know what I mean? There's like no team you're just ruling out.
Well, we don't know yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, but at the start of last season, everyone was still like, yeah, fraud watch 10th place, like
Yeah,
but like.
Compared to previous seasons, you saw a lot of bottom-heavy teams where you have your top-tier players in the bot lane. But I think with the new draft and how it's balanced, I think a lot of the matchups, I mean, given top lane pool is significantly higher, it's going to be probably a much more top-heavy league. So we'll see how myself, some of the lower-tier players can adapt to playing around, what would seem to be just a different play style.
Yeah.
And funny you say that, because in like almost every season of Summit, it's almost always been the bot side meta, where you pretty much just pick your top laner or tank, and hopefully they can not die within the first 20 minutes, and then they can just be unkillable.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at last season and how Goblin's team performed. I mean, Kobayashi, Lord Kobayashi performed extremely well in the top lane on his signature Kench, and you have your double master bot lane with Goblin and Dean, who kind of just ran away with every single game they had, and players like Ryan or I can't remember who they're Asuna. You have great supportive players around a super strong bot lane, and that was just kind of how the league was played.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, got any team hot takes for the season? I
think Flea's team will probably be better than a lot of people expect. I don't think that team's really that bad. I think one of the players I would like to highlight is World Soup. World Soup had a great season last season.
Yes,
they're still a tier 5 player. And OP's kill switch was doing pretty well, and the substitute game. So I feel like that team can click, and I think they could even make their way to the top 5, maybe top 4.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, and
I
like
can see
I was
that.
talking about earlier, Borla, great ADC player. So
Yeah. And
it's
Fleece is a pretty solid support, and if you like an Enchanter support, and you could really test the limits of playing with an Enchanter support, it's sometimes more impressive than you'll ever play with an Engage support. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Fleece is a really solid support player, especially with the Enchanters that they like to play. So I'm expecting if Borla can take advantage of that, they have a real chance of being like one of the top 3 bot lanes.
definitely.
Ban Nami. Ban Nami.
Yeah.
Yeah, Banami.
Brissy, any hot takes for you?
Oh, let's see here. I mean, KYB Cats team just looks all around solid. I mean, we talked about it earlier.
It's broken.
Setup getting stolen in tier 3 like that, as well as getting first pick of the draft and locking down Psy. I mean, I can't really complain about any of their players. I think with the way the team's laid out there, it's going to come down to how my hot daddy performs in the jungle. But he's got familiarity with that role, being a jungler the past couple seasons. So, I think that team is top 2, if not, number 1.
All right.
I would agree. It's a pretty great
right.
team.
And yeah, that's gonna kind of wrap up the draft section. And now what everyone has been waiting for: predictions.
Can we just can we talk about the reigning champ from last season on predictions? Can we talk about that just for a second?
If anyone doesn't know, Brissy won last season because he just happened to get a couple correct. But this season,
Summit scriptwriter is back.
yes, but this season though, there's only 5 weeks, Brissy,
That is
for the
true.
regular season. We haven't decided if we're gonna do the playoffs as well, just because of how short the season is. We probably will, but just to make it more spicy. But let's look at week 1's play or games. Words are hard. So first off, PPP versus Too Easy. PPP sitting on that blue side, and Too Easy almost right across the board. Besides this weird guy named Brissy picking PPP, the Master Chef, Hell's Kitchen. Well, I just realized you're on that team. I was like,
Just
why
so
did he
happened
pick...
to be the top
I
laner.
was like, who? Why would he pick PPP? And then I was like, oh wait. And then I look over to my right and I see the roster, and I'm like, oh,
I don't know.
he's on the
I don't
team.
know. Everybody loves an underdog.
That is true. Do you have any words for Too Easy's team?
I have no words other than probably ban in vain top. So
Allegedly.
But yeah, I mean, pretty obvious. I mean, I think Too Easy's team is just really well done. I mean, best mid laner last season, and honestly, probably going to be this season, depending on how he plays and everything like that. But let's move on to our next game: Asterius Kittens versus Dognatos, I think is how you say it.
Yeah.
Dognatos. So, Venom going with Dognatos. Everyone else going with Asterius Kittens. Ray, do you have anything to say to to Dognatos, Nico's team?
I'm happy we are playing them early because it's gonna be a really good gauge, and it's like it's a good team to play against early. You know what I mean? It's not like get your hopes up if you beat a projected lower tier team. I think this team's pretty highly rated. I think it's gonna be a harder game. Me and Asteria are still figuring things out bot lane. I think the other team's still figuring out things with their roles. So I mean, it could really be an exciting set of games. I think we're gonna take it just because I'm delusional and I think I can't play wrong at all. And I think people will genuinely be surprised on how well I can play support. So,
I mean, I saw it last season.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sub gap. Yeah, I mean, it was alright.
I think a lot of these week 1 games, regardless of matchup, can all end up being can go either way really.
Yeah.
Just depending on how teams are how that chemistry's looking.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a lot of really good matches in week 1.
And just to make sure, you're in Group A, right? Array?
That's a great question.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe the blue side teams there, I think, are all A.
No.
No, is that not right?
No, I picked.
No.
So I color
I'd
coded
have
it
to,
like
I'd have to
side.
pull it
So
up.
blue,
Oh, okay,
blue
okay,
is
okay.
that's blue side. Red is the other one.
Blue side's also. I mean, you're playing against the people in your team, so like we wouldn't be playing against Nico's team if they weren't in our group.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. The only cross match, like cross group, is game 5. But we'll get to that.
I want to talk about who the special guest of this week was for the predictions.
Special guest was Mr. Colin Gamer D, the commissioner. I asked him to do predictions. I thought it'd just be fitting, Commissioner, what's your early predictions, sort of thing. So, and he does have a take for one of these games, but we're not quite there yet. So, next game, Fleas versus iProfit. We're actually,
I think this one's gonna be a close one.
Yeah, this one's pretty split. iProfit for 3 of us, myself, Venom, and Array, and Brissy and Gamer D going with Fleas. And I'm gonna start with you, Brissy. What are your thoughts on Fleas team, and why do you think they're gonna take this win?
So my reasoning behind going with Flea's team, I think, was let me take a look at the team because I was looking at this earlier.
Please, Borla, World Soup, Kill Switch, and Krasbuto.
I just I think Krasbuto is going to be a really strong pick for this team, and I think if they can perform well as Borla, I think that team, as far as like bot lane goes, I think it may perform a little bit better. Because if Thim and Sexy Shawarma can't get on the same page, I think Borla and Fleas could probably run them down a good amount.
Yeah.
So I just think that early in the season that team will show up better than iProfits.
Okay.
I think you're honestly making a case making me kind of want to switch my pick, but I'm just gonna stick with what I
Nope,
picked
you're locked
originally.
in. You're locked in.
You're locked in, buddy.
But I would still say it's like this is one of the closer series this week, off of just pure hypothetical. We know nothing, if I had to guess. I would say this one's like a 55-45, maybe. I really do think you're making a great point with the bot lane. I have more faith in Borla and Fleas to make things happen than them and Sexy Shawarma, just by like looking at the OP.GGs and just seeing how things went last season. Not that Thim played bad at all. I thought he was one of the best performing ADs, but it's just I think it's more of a style matchup type of thing more than anything. So I do see like Fleas team is just not out of this at all.
I will give a shout out to Gar though. Gar being back in the mid lane up against World Soup, who I know we talked about had performed really well the past couple seasons, but Gar being back home in the mid lane, we'll see if he shows up and shows out.
I'm surprised you guys still haven't mentioned Sprinkler yet versus Karsbuta. I think this is like number 1, 2 for top laners, like rank wise.
Depends on what the champions
are they both tier 1? Are they both tier 1 champs?
Yeah. They are. So, me personally, I'm watching this top lane.
Call it a wash.
Yeah.
Call it a wash. Okay. I will say I think Kill Switch does have it over iProfit though. So we'll see.
I would say so too.
We'll see how that jungle pick goes. Moving on.
I will say, real quick, Sprinkler's champion pool isn't the carry style that you would want out of a 660 LP GM, but maybe that's just my opinion. That might be my hot take. They play a lot of Shin and tanks. I think that can be great for if you are able to utilize being a great frontline player. You can really impact the team in ways that a lot of people wouldn't understand.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
It does seem like Krasbuto does play more impactful if given the gold champions. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I again, with the same thing with the bot lane, I think the top lane is pretty close to even, maybe 60-40,
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Moving on to our next game, conflicts of interest. You just want to make
the
sure.
best game of the week
Versus Callista's team. And if you guys notice, there's a lot of wrong people that are in blue, and then there's one guy who's going to be right on this game. But no, Callista versus conflicts of interest. So the reason I went with Callista here is I honestly think... So first off, conflict of interest has a lot of players that are off role. So I'm considering, okay, maybe they're not used to their role yet, so I'm gonna give them a week to see if like maybe they'll come back, and so I'm more inclined to pick them in a later week. I think just in these early weeks, I think they're still going to be learning some of those new roles, get back into the groove of some things. But one of the main reasons I went with this is David. I think David is going to kind of shut down Pai and kind of what he wants to do, because Pai, his playstyle is like, I want to fight and get some sort of gold lead. And then the other reason I picked this is Callista, actually, because we don't know anything about Callista yet. So
You're taking a shot in the dark.
I'm taking a shot in the dark with the Callista. So I wanted to be spicy this week. I didn't want all of us to have the same ones.
No, I respect that.
So
fair enough.
So
I'm gonna actually disagree with the top lane thing. I think Pai's playstyle might be a confusion, like a little question mark for David, because like there's just a guy just running at you. You know what I mean? He's just like, what do you do about that? Like, if you can't mechanically outplay him, or if you're in a shit matchup, what do you do about that?
Yeah, I'd say David is pretty similar to what you're talking about with Sprinkler. I know David's champ pool is, consists of a lot of those supportive, tankier top laners, as well. Dabbles in Mordekaiser and some other champs like that, but not too not too known for, say, a champion like Fiora or Camille, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. But let's move on to our cross game matchup. We have hang on, I know the name. Give me a second.
Oh, wait.
Happier Cat versus team The Gauntlet, or The Gauntlet.
Who was the Gauntlet? Is that?
I don't know. It's just The Gauntlet.
Wait,
The Gauntlet is KYB Cat.
Oh yeah, that's an easy Kip Cat game. I guess I'll start. I think that the bot lane is just like, it's actually too hard for Happier Cat's team, and I don't think the top lane diff will be enough when your bot lane is getting slammed that hard.
Yeah, this game really hurts me. I'm picking the team that I think is gonna win, not the team that I want to win, because I'm really good buddies with Guanabon, so it hurts me to not pick him to win.
Me too.
So
but I have to face reality.
Yeah, but I have to face reality, and I just don't know enough about all these four rookies. So I'm gonna go with the team that I know most of the players, and I definitely know this bot lane is gonna be dangerous. So
oh yeah, and setup. I mean, from what I understand, setup's a great player.
I don't know this Bubbles player. I'm gonna op.gg this guy real quick. But yeah, I think
I did see Angry Enchiladas play, and they were a top laner, and they played a pretty mean top lane, but I haven't seen them play support.
Yeah, they're playing. Okay, so yeah, Bubbles is playing mid lane. A Huawei player and TF. Interesting.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think that is going to wrap up this episode of The Climb. And once again, thank you all for coming by and listening to us bullshit for an hour.
Yeah.
Summit Season 4, baby.
Season 4, baby. Summit Season
here.
4. So thank you once again, Array and Brissy, for coming on this week. And stay tuned. We will have Venom back next week. And don't worry, Brissy and Array will be coming on later weeks as well. So don't worry, they will be back. So thank you all for watching this episode of The Climb. and we'll see you next week.